how to build your song around a riff or a chord progression. Let's get into it. Let's go. So, every time I write a song, I always begin with a riff or a chord progression, mainly chord progressions, but this works for if you have a guitar riff or whatever at the same time. What you need to keep in mind is that for every section of the song, all you gotta do is change the chord progression or the riff slightly, just a little bit. You don't necessarily have to change the notes, but you can change the pattern in which they're played in. You can change the tempo, which speed that they're going in, the arrangement. Just change it also slightly, but in the chorus, keep it the same and just build more layers in the chorus to make the song bigger, but the feeling will stay the same. So if you change it just slightly within the sections, your song will have movement, and that's the key to it. So you don't have to start playing one thing and then completely flip it. You don't have to flip it completely, turn it all the way around, unless that's what you want. Those type of beats work cool as well, but for the most part, a lot of modern music, it has a chord progression. It has like a key chord progression or a key riff that just plays throughout the song. So there's nothing wrong with still making music like that. Just make sure that you add layers and drop things in and out. And so for each little section, what you're gonna have to do when you change up the chord progression or your riff, make sure that when the vocals that you're singing and the lyrics, the pattern of the lyrics, they change in with the chord progression and the riff. Everything needs to move at the same time so that every section has its own unique moment within the song, and then the chorus is just big. But it's that repetition, but for each chorus, all you're doing is just adding a little bit more to each chorus towards the end, so that on the last chorus is just larger than life. And that's how you build around that. So make sure your drum patterns are changing up, make sure your bass lines are changing up for every section as well. But keeping that rhythm, keeping them same notes and them same chords throughout the song is the easiest way for you to keep the feeling a certain vibe in a certain way. But just, a little bit of changes here and there, spice it up, sauce it up, and you good to go. When you're adding layers on top of your chord progression or your riff, keep this in mind to keep it simple. Some of the biggest records of all time, and I mean of all time, have been very simple and barely have any counter melodies, and sometimes don't even have nothing underneath the main chord progression. So you don't actually need to add more instrumentation on. Adding layers is more for vibes and the flavor. Adding a counter melody to make a hook or a chorus so that there's a moment in the song that's memorable that people can also sing along with. That's what that counter melody is for. So if you're gonna add layers, make sure that you have layers coming in and out. That way you keep the movement and the progression of the record going. So instruments that are in the front side don't necessarily need to be in the middle or towards the end of the song. You can keep changing the instrumentation up and keep things very interesting. Rules are meant to be broken, and you don't need to sound like somebody else. Create your own style.